more importantly, like more and more students, what they want to know is like, yeah, I mean, I did 12 years of school, 4 years of engineering. Should I learn more? Should I spend another 2 years in graduate education? Should I spend 2 years getting an MBA? Should I spend 2 years doing another engineering course? Or should I spend 5 years doing a PhD? The thing is, these days the technology is developed to such an extent where the technology is being developed every day, and the technology being developed are getting phased out within a few years. So what I've been education was good, but not the best. It is not the state of the art. For example, I used to believe the solar cells we make here was considered to be state of the art solar cells. It has not yet come to the market. So when I went there to US and started working once again on solar power, solar cells, it was a whole new different ballgame. The facilities they have, the facilities we have, the kind of research work they do, it's at least a decade ahead compared to us. And by the time you come out of university, what you have is you have the skill set, or the kind of skill set which will help you sustain in the industry for the next decade. And that's what the graduate education assures you. And by the time you're already spent 10 years in a company, you will be you would have acquired other skill set to help you sustain yourself. So that's one of the things master's education or MBA business education provides. That's one thing, and 12 lakhs is more than sufficient to study in a very good school and get a good graduate degree. But it's not sufficient if you want to go to Stanford or any of those Californian universities, but you still get a decent graduate or very good graduate education for 12 lakh rupees. Generally, the timeline for US university application process is you have to write your GRE by June, July. That's the ideal time to write your GRE. And GRE generally takes something like 3 to 4 months of solid preparation. Both of us started preparing together, and we started preparing on January, sometime in 2007. So we started on January. It takes good 3 to 4 months of solid preparation, that is 2 hours a day. And it takes 3 to 4 months to prepare your GRE. Given your GRE at the end of your summer holidays, that's the ideal time. GRE is all about practicing, just practicing a lot of tests.
Right. I have a formula for GRE preparation, and if you just, there is a certain steps. You do all this, you get 1300, which is a pretty good score. There is like a particular way. Indians always come up with this nice way of cracking the system, and we have a way of doing that. And so you don't have to join. Let me say this. I don't recommend taking classes because I never took one. He never took one either. So we're not promoting time or IMS here. We're just saying that GRE is something you can do. TOEFL is something anyone can do. So that's how it is. And they're simple exams. They're probably the simplest in the lot.
So GRE is all about it's all about taking tests and practicing the tests. I think you have 2 sections: quantitative section and a verbal section. Quantitative section is a 10th standard mathematics. So whatever you learn for your aptitude test for your interviews, that will be good enough for your.
That will get you 800 on 800 or something. It's math. The GRE math is very simple. It's nothing like CAT. Okay, just don't look at CAT and all that. CAT. GRE quantitative is very simple. GRE verbal is about by hearting 3,000 words. And that's what's going to take you 3 months. And once you by heart 3,000 words, I can give you 2 CDs to practice 25 tests, and you get 1,300. Yeah. That's how it works.
So basically, we have this. What is that?
The big book.
The big book. The big book of tests for GRE. So we have this huge collection of tests. I guess it's available in the market. You have this big book of tests. Just do all those tests, crack those tests. You learn. The first time you write the test, you have to be at least. I got something like 4 out of some 40 or something. But by the end of the test, by the time you finish the big book, you are good enough to go and write it. A couple of my friends wanted to do masters and PhD after work experience. Their idea was, if I have work experience, I'll have a much better chance of getting a scholarship. So they are doing the third year of, I mean, they are still working. They are in their third year now. Thing is, they don't find the time to sit down and study. It's like 12 hours of work, 6 days a week, and
the rest of the time there is time to eat bel puri, and there's just so much to do with life here, especially in India. I know I spend so much time. After school, you'll find me in the bel puri shop up until 9. Until then, scratch my head and go in front of my mom saying I'm not having dinner today. So that's how it works here, and we have our friends and the whole system set up here. So the best time to prepare is now, and I know many of you are torchlights, aren't you? Have someone quizzing you with words, and not just GRE, anything. Someone quizzing you, someone coming up to you with a problem. Forget maths. It's always GRE is only about words. So now is the time. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, now is the best time. So start preparing. I mean, if you're in a third year, start preparing for your GRE. It's a 3 months process. So start from now by May. So with that, you will be GRE and TOEFL are the statutory tests for applying for US universities. You need to take GRE and TOEFL, and but certain universities will ask you for subject GRE. That's basically for basic sciences. So that eliminates all you guys. But for certain universities, for computer science department, will ask you for subject GRE. Subject GRE, I mean, I'm not in CS department, so this is from my friends in computer science department. So ask them for brief comments how the subject GRE tests are. So their comments are, it is theory heavy, and it is mostly on basic concepts, nothing on advanced topics, and they say just practice tests. Just practice tests. It's similar to how you prepare for your normal GRE. Practice tests, you'll crack your subject GRE.
And I don't think, for most cases, I don't think they expect you to give the subject GRE, no. They're okay with just the GRE. I think most of the universities, computer science, they don't expect you to give the subject GRE. So that's an alternative. That's something you might want to do to enhance in case you're really that desperate. So
if you have like a very low GPA, and if you
very low GPA, very low GRE score,
and if you want to somehow show that you are good, your academics is good.
Yeah, but if you're interested in taking it as a challenge and you're really into computer science, passionate and all that, then it's definitely something you can worth trying, giving it a shot, or can get you into the big schools.
So that's subject GRE, and right after that you should start shortlisting universities. In fact, what we suggest is, like, what I did was, I had a clear sense of topics what to do. I mean, clear sense of area to focus on for my graduate study. So I had a brief list of universities. I compiled a brief list of universities sometime in early May. So you can start by that, have a brief list of universities, or what you could do is, right after completing a GRE, during a GRE preparation, you will be hunting down for tests. You will be looking online to know more about GRE, and in this process, you will be coming across a list of universities, areas of specialization. So you will already have an abstract list of universities you wanted to apply. You want to apply for at the end of your sometime at the end of July. And after that, start contacting the professors in those universities. My suggestion is email those professors, send them a brief email about yourself. Brief email meaning just 3 lines. Anything more than 3 lines, no one is going to read. It's going to go to the trash. So send a very brief email about yourself and why do you want to work for him. And send a brief email. If he's not responding, send another email after 1 week. If he's still not responding, call him. Most of the professors are friendly. So you could call him, you could speak to him, tell him about yourself, tell him that you love his research work, and I wanted to.
You also have an alumni network. I'm not sure if you wanted to bring it at this point in time.
We have an alumni network being set up here right after your GRE.
This is assuming that you're focused and you you know what you want to do.
What we have is we are trying to establish a very closed alumni network. From our experience, what we learned from the US is the best way to go about, say, for a job hunt or later on through your, let's say, even if you want to apply for a graduate school, your alumni network is very, very important. I have noticed in some of the top schools here in India. For example, IITs and BITS Pilani have a very, very close alumni network. The BITS Pilani being like their alumni network is established some 15-20 years back. So the advantage they have is there's a BITS alumni who's a professor somewhere in US. And if you are applying to those universities, the BITS professor will already know about you.
Yes.
And that is an advantage. And the university knows BITS Pilani is one of the reputed universities in India, because there's a very close linked alumni network, and whatever achievements alumni does, it's getting promoted together as by the alumni network. So it reaches to much wider places. So what we aspire was, we are trying to form a very closed alumni network. For the graduate education, what our idea is to have, we are close to now around 60 to 70 people in US who are doing masters or PhD. Those are people who are recorded in the alumni network. There are many people who are not yet in the alumni network. And there are equally same number of people in Europe. So idea is, when you guys are trying to say apply to US or Europe, if you guys go through this alumni network, let's say you are applying to University of Cincinnati. Jayanth is studying in University of Cincinnati, so he will tell you perhaps more about the university there. So if you are applying to say Rutgers University, I will tell you, the websites there will tell you something. Yeah, this department is good. This department is good.
We'll tell you something beyond the website.
Beyond the website,
things that you really want to know.